What's up, everybody? I'm Marnik van den Broek, and today I want to talk to you about leadership, about the true definition of a leader, what makes them great, and what is one of the biggest pitfalls in companies right now when it comes to determining leadership. A lot to talk about. I hope you're going to like the episode. If you do, like it, subscribe to the channel, put on notifications. You know how it works by now. But without further ado, everybody, welcome to the Stand Up Talk.
Are you listening? Damn.
Now, in the world, we talk a lot about leadership. We have books, descriptions. Everybody has some sort of interpretation on what a true leader is and how to spot them. I also recently, in another Stand Up Talk episode, asked leadership expert Wojciech Zitkowiak, if I pronounced that right, on what he thinks leadership, true leadership is, or how he would define it. And he said the following.
Just to simplify it, everyone has their own definition, and it's okay because leadership is what you want it to be.
I think that's a really good explanation, because who are we to judge what good leadership is? If it works for you, if micromanagement works for you and you love it that your manager is running a tight shift, who are we to say that that is not great leadership? But I do think that looking at a more global perspective, there is some common denominators that really define what great leadership is and what works for most people and brings the best out of them. Now, I was thinking like, but what is that? How do you define it? You can read so much. If you just Google what's the definition of leadership, Google will explode with different types of interpretations. And I still had a hard time. Like, is it someone that you follow? Is it someone that knows everything? Is it someone that looks good, that is like Hercules wise, Wonder Woman, God? Or is it just a person that is really down to earth and just know their business cold? I don't know. I was really struggling until I came across a certain author named Sam Walker, and he is the author of the book, The Captain Class. And this is going to be a bold statement. I don't have any stock in the book, so I'm not going to make any money with this, but I really enjoyed it. It's, for me, probably one of the best leadership books that I read so far. The Captain Class. Why? Because it's just a good book and it really helps you define and understand what true leadership is, but also because you don't expect it. It's a book about how he analyzed all sports teams, and I mean teams, not just golf or tennis, really football, hockey, rugby, whatever. Team sports, that's what it is, team. Now, you analyze all these team sports, and I was thinking, which teams not just won a lot of cups and were really good and seen as a great team, but who dominated their generation in their sport, and what common denominators did these teams have? Was it leadership? Who was the leader? What defined them? And what made these teams tick that they really blew away everybody in their time? Now, if you're into sports, it's a great book. If you're not into sports, it doesn't really matter, because he really dives in what makes the teams work. And for me, I had an epiphany. For me, he just opened the door like, this is solid foundation. If you ask me what is leadership, I'm going to agree with Sam Walker on what he discovered. And this is a big spoiler alert. So if you want to read the book, maybe you should put off the video right now. You're still going to enjoy it, but this is indeed a spoiler, because this is his big conclusion. He looked at the teams, and for example, I don't know a lot about football, but let me take the example because it resonated the most with me, is the time that Barcelona was at its peak. FC Barcelona, the big team, Lionel Messi, dominating in their age. It was a time that the captain of the team was Puyol, if you still remember, the curly hair, and they were dominating. But everybody was looking at Messi, and no doubt, I don't know a lot about football, like I said, but Messi, you can't say he's a genius, has always been a genius with the ball. But everybody was looking at Messi. Everybody's like, he's making Barcelona great. He is the man with the plan. Messi is what a true leader is. But in short, I also thought the same, because we always have the reflex. You always see the Messis and the Ronaldos and the Michael Jordans of this world getting the captain band, being seen as the leader. Some people say, no, it's the coach. It is the coach, because they have the strategies, and the coach is motivating them and making sure that everybody knows what to do. But what he found out was, in most teams, the leader was the one that was most invisible, that wasn't seen but did the hardest work. And in Barcelona's case, it was Puyol. He was the one, the glue, like he calls it. He was the one keeping the team together. He wasn't the one with the big press conferences that everybody said, wow, what a soccer player. He might not even be in the best in what he was doing. He was a great player, of course, but he carried the most water. On the field, next to the field, he was working hard all the time. He was motivating. He was carrying the team, giving the examples, doing the extra miles. And he was doing all that to make sure that everybody felt good, knew what to do, the coach's strategies were executed on the field, and most importantly, he made that star players like Messi could do their thing, that they could perform, that they could be the star. And I really love the fact what Pele, way before my time, the other soccer player, the great soccer player from Brazil, also said. I'm not a leader. He said, I am a star player and you should be able to let me be the star. I am not a leader. Why I'm not a leader? I'm so focused on being the goal getter shooter that I don't have time to take care of how everybody is feeling, if the strategies are executed. I just need to focus on making as many goals as possible. Makes him the star. In a lot of people's eyes, that makes them a leader. But invisibly, it's other players, most of the time, not even the coach, that truly are the glue of the team. And you say that with Michael Jordan, and you don't even have to agree. He said it himself. In the time of Michael Jordan, also in the book, Chicago Bulls dominating. But was he the leader? No, he was the star. Why could he be the star? Because he had Scottie Pippen. Invisible. Scottie Pippen wasn't as good as Michael Jordan, but he was the glue of the team. And you also saw that when he left, that the team was like, what the hell is going on? Michael Jordan is good. He can, of course, lead, but he is a star, and you should let the star be the star, and a leader the leader. And that's also what you see when we're talking about pitfalls. Not only in sports, you see that so many, look at any sport. The star player most of the time gets the credit, will be the captain band, will be seen as the leader of the pack. And if there is not necessarily a star player, it will probably be the coach. The coach is responsible for all the winning and the great thing. But in the locker rooms, there's where the team knows, even though they don't have the captain band, the team knows who the true leader is. And most of the time, it's not what the audience thinks, it's not what the press thinks, because leadership is often invisible. A true leader is invisible, carries water, is the glue of the team, cares for the team. The number one priority is the team performing? Is the team feeling good? The number one priority of a true leader is not, am I shining? Am I in the spotlight? Am I being seen as the one people should be looking at because I know all and follow me? No, that's a star. And let the star be the star. And that's also the link with the pitfall. Because what do you see? Let me take the example of sales. You see that so many times, and probably also in your company. Someone is selling really hard, getting those deals, and everybody's like, wow, what a salesperson. Amazing. We should make this person the sales director. And they get promoted and promoted and promoted. And the more they get promoted, the higher up, the more people they need to manage. Because now all of a sudden, they're no longer selling, they're managing a team. They're the sales director. So they're behind their desk instead of on the road, on the phone, making those making money. And you see so many great salespeople perish inside of a company because they're seen as leadership material because they are the star. And it could be, I'm not saying that a star could not be a leader, but let them be the star. They get their energy, their focus, their everything is selling, is being that star. Take someone that might not be a great salesperson, knows a lot about sales, but isn't the best salesperson, but is seen as that one person in the office that really holds the team together, that really organizes the party, that really talks to other colleagues when they're not feeling good or they didn't close a deal. The one that secretly, even if you don't see it, is holding it all together and making sure that the star salesperson doesn't have to worry about a thing because they can focus on bringing in the deals. Those people you should make sales director because they will thrive. They will make the team perform enormously. They will not be the ones that will be getting the sales MVP rings, but they will in the end be the biggest glue, link, carrying water, making it all possible. But what do we do in companies? Someone performs really well, great. That must be a leader. Just like Messi is probably a great leader because he makes a lot of goals and he can dribble and he's a great player. Michael Jordan, let's make him captain. He's the leader. And that's a really big misconception about leadership, is that it's the one at the front, the one that's shining, the one we should follow, the one that is greatness. But most of the time, not saying always, but most of the time, these people can shine. The team can shine because there's one person that realizes that keeping everybody together, keeping everybody happy, motivated, inspired, picking them up when they're down, showing them by example, even when times get tough, that they need to keep going, putting their ego aside, letting the team enjoy the win, not always having to be upfront. Those are the people in sports and in the company that really make a difference. And you see it everywhere. The best leaders are most of the time invisible because they're too busy leading instead of shining. And the whole book, I'm not saying this is the only great book about leadership, but it inspired me so much because it helped me identify what leaders are within companies, helped me look at myself, like, am I a leader? What did I do well in my previous jobs when I had my own team? What worked, what didn't work? And most of the time it came to everything I just said. It came to the conclusion. And you will look differently at sports. You will look differently on how you see leadership, and you will look differently at how you're going to promote or identify true leaders inside your company. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, super important, but is this person carrying the water for the team? Are they going the extra mile? Are they more concerned with how everybody's doing, that the team is performing, versus are they in the spotlight getting all the promotions and being seen for everything that they're doing? Are they happy performing, selling, doing marketing, or are they getting their energy from actually managing people and making them feel good and making them perform even better? And are they seen sometimes secretly, that it's not spoken out loud, but everybody knows it in the team? Are they the ones keeping it together? Are they, like Sam Walker says, the glue of the team? If it's yeses on all those factors, you probably have a great leader at hand, and you should give them the opportunity to actually lead. Do you have a star? Great. Chances are that star just wants to be the star. Let them be the star. Put them together with a great leader and they will perform even better. Find the Scottie Pippen with the Michael Jordan. Find the Puyol that you can combine with the Messi. And you will see that the rest will join in, will follow, will be just inspired, and then you can dominate business. You can dominate, like these sports teams, your generation. And everybody will ask, how? Is it the CEO? Is it the boss? What's going on? Is it the star sales person? No, it's a team that came together, shares the same values, shares the same convictions, knows their leader, has a leader that carries that water, and has star players that are allowed to be star players because the rest is taken care of. And if you have that, no matter, I guarantee it, you will perform. So I hope that helps. For me, you don't have to agree, of course. You don't have to agree. But for me, this was an eye-opener. It of course, there can be nuances, and like Wojciech said, it's different for everybody, and what works for you works. But I think, in general, that leadership is about that. So go lead. Find out if you're a leader. Find out if it gives you energy. And if not, maybe you're the star. Maybe you have a different role in the team. But definitely, if you're in a leadership function, this is what it should be about. I was Martin van den Broek. This was a stand-up talk. Hope to see you again in a future episode. Until next time.
Are you listening? Damn.